Ladies and gentlemen, I don't say this lightly. I genuinely believe that right now is probably one of the most important times in Bitcoin's entire price history. And I swear on my life, I'm not saying that as a clickbait thing. I'm saying that I'm being legitimate here. And it's really not that complicated. So I'll explain it in this video. Guys, we've reached 57K on Bitcoin, 57,000 US dollars. Now, this is not a surprise. In fact, for weeks now, I've been saying 57K is a likely target for literally for weeks, ever since this top right here. 57K has been coming off the tip of my tongue on this YouTube channel for, every single video. We've reached it. Now, we validated that target upon the breakdown yesterday in this yellow line. We outlined in this video yesterday, we did. And unfortunately, we haven't reached it in an optimal fashion. Unfortunately, we reached it in a breakdown fashion. And what I mean by that is we had a descending wedge formation yesterday that was giving us a bit of hope on Bitcoin. That descending wedge is unfortunately broken to the downside. And we've also broken a triangle formation on the 12-hourly chart RSI, stemming backwards, right? Over 8 months, basically, from August 2023. That line's also broken to the downside. So not really the best way we could be reaching this target here. And it is actually in a way that's threatening potentially further downside price action. But I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think Bitcoin can go much lower in a healthy fashion, okay? I think that if Bitcoin goes much below something like $54,000, that's going to be a major red flag. And I'll probably be selling a lot of my assets and de-risking for the market. For the time being though, Bitcoin, let me be very clear. For the time being, Bitcoin is in a healthy position. For the time being, actually, this is optimal price action. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that in a second, because it might not seem like it, right? You might be looking at your portfolio and you might be thinking, oh, how can this be optimal price action? I've lost thousands of dollars. But I actually want to be very, very clear here. If we zoom out to the macro, Bitcoin's in a pretty decent position. But we can't go down much further. Because if we go down much further, that's going to be ruined. So let's look into that in a second. But 57K has been reached. 57K, of course, is our macro level at this point in time. At this point in time, it is our macro support level. At this point in time, around 57K is the immediate support zone. In fact, that stems all the way down. And this is very, very important to note. The 57K support zone, identified via the volume profile, that I've been talking about relentlessly for the last few weeks, actually stems all the way down to around 54,000. And that's why I said the number 54,000, okay? 57K has been the number that I've been talking about, but the same reason I called for 57K, that zone is attached to 54K, okay? The spike in the volume profile extends that low, and then it dips downwards to 53. But 54K to 57K is the major support block. I discussed this yesterday. I've been discussing it for weeks. We've reached 57. We're on the top of that support block right now. And I will say this, although we've seen breakdowns, although Bitcoin is under threat here, clearly, we've broken down from 12-hourly chart RSI, broken down from the wedge formation here, there are actually some positive signs, and we'll zoom out to the macro right now. We won't waste any more time here. Believe it or not, I actually don't have a huge amount to discuss. I really just want to nail down the key point. That is the macro chart, this macro chart in particular. That shows you very clearly, that Bitcoin is really in an important spot. Perhaps one of the most important spots it's ever been in. Because if Bitcoin goes down much further here, it will break the entire cyclical structure, right? But that's good news and bad news, because it means that the bottom is likely close to being in. Okay, so let's get into it, right? All right, so Pi cycle. Now, shout out to Megawell Crypto. He informed me of the Pi cycle part of this analysis, but I'm not going to look at that right now. I'll look at that in a second here. First and foremost, we're going to look at this 13-year-long ascending support line, which we've looked at many times in this channel. Again, 13 years. You heard me correctly. This is a 13-year-long support line on Bitcoin. As you can see, if you zoom in, we'll go to the 2-week chart, actually. It works best in the 2-week chart. It's acted as support and resistance on multiple occasions, just constantly bouncing, rejecting off this zone on every single occasion here, and I'm circling. Bouncing off of it, rejecting off of it every single time, stemming all the way up to where we are right now. As you can see, it acted as resistance on multiple occasions over here in 2022 and 2023. We finally got above it, and right now we're coming back for a resistance support flip right on that zone. Now, what did I say before? I said the 54K to 57K level is the critical support level on Bitcoin. This 13-year support line that could be anywhere, could be marked at any price because it's been around for so long, literally over a decade, okay, is sitting exactly at around 57K to 56K. That's not a coincidence, guys. This zone actually matters. Now, furthermore, if we go to the weekly chart, okay, and we bring up the Pi cycle indicator, we can see that the center lines of the price cycle indicator, which are the green and yellow lines, and then look at the white line as well. At this part of the cycle, every single time, okay, Megabyte Crypto did a full analysis of this, we see this act as a kind of channel at this part of the cycle every single time. The price, after the halving, but even before the halving, does not drop below the center lines, right, which is the green and yellow lines. And it does not go above the white lines, okay? So you see this channel kind of forming every single time. It happened back here in 2016, 2017, happened over here in 2020 as well. COVID stuffed it up a little bit. You can see not going below that yellow and green line for months on end and finding resistance to that white line on 2 separate occasions before finally entering a parabolic bull market when that white line is broken. Guys, we are seeing the exact same thing this time. The yellow and green line, the center lines of the price cycle, okay, are acting as major support, okay? And that white line is acting as major resistance. Where do those yellow and green lines meet? They meet right at around the critical level between 54 and 57K, which is also where the 13-year support line meets. Now, what else is in that region? On top of this, now this would be enough, okay, to claim this region to be so critical. But on top of this, we also have the bull market support band, which is literally sitting at 56K and 55K, again, within that 57 to 54K hot pocket. On top of this, even more, guys, we have even more support here. We have, okay, a weekly chart, ascending line, ascending support line here in the weekly chart. Okay, if we actually zoom into a weekly chart that's more up to date, you can see that line has been touched right now. It's actually been touched right now. That line stems all the way back from June 2022. It's a 2-year-old ascending RSI support line. Again, basically in that 57K to 54K region. Guys, what I'm trying to tell you is this. I'm trying to tell you that right now, Bitcoin has basically a perfect opportunity to form an extremely healthy macro bottom before entering a parabolic bull market. And in saying that, I'm also saying that if Bitcoin goes down further here, if Bitcoin drops below 54K on a weekly candle close, it is in massive danger. Massive danger. What would that do? It would invalidate the cyclical theory. It would invalidate a cyclical bull market after the halving. And it would lead most likely to a bear market, but not a traditional bear market, okay? Because a traditional bear market would be a regular cyclical bear market. This would be a bear market like we've never seen before. And that's not to say it'd be worse than usual. It's just to say we have no idea what it would look like. Because we'd be entering a bear market. We'd be entering a bear market at a completely random time in comparison to where we have cyclically always entered bear markets. We would basically be breaking free from the cyclical theory on Bitcoin and entering a dark place where no macro trends exist, okay? So it is of the utmost importance right now that Bitcoin holds on to that 57K to 54K level on the weekly chart. And if it does not do that, that will be a major sign, in my opinion, to start de-risking from the market, taking a step back and waiting to see what happens. But right now, as of current, Bitcoin is in a perfectly healthy macro position. In fact, this is a position, as I've showed you before, that we have been in every other cycle so far. This is where we need to find the bottom on Bitcoin. I can't stress that enough. In this rough price region between 57 and 54K, this is where we need to find the bottom on Bitcoin. That is one of the most important things right now. And the reason I titled this video, the most important time in Bitcoin's history or something along those lines, is because if we do not do that, if we do not find the bottom in this rough price region, we will be breaking parts of the cyclical theory and entering kind of a state of unknown being on Bitcoin, which will be very scary to navigate as market analysts, because we will just have no macro data. We'll just have no macro trends. But right now, Bitcoin is healthy, perfectly healthy. Everything that's happening right now was predicted on this YouTube channel. There's no cause for concern being at the 57K level. But as I've always said, we get much below that level and it's going to be dangerous. So 54K is the absolute lowest Bitcoin should be going on a weekly candle close right now. Anything below that, and I'm going to be genuinely scared and probably de-risking from the market. But obviously things change, so I'll keep you updated on that. But that's my opinion on Bitcoin right now. So one of the most important times in Bitcoin's history, no doubt, and a perfect place to find a macro bottom if we are going to continue the regular cycles. Let me know what you think, guys. Very, very important time for Bitcoin. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Again, if you appreciate the content, you think my analysis is good, you can get trading plans on the VIP group, altcoin trading signals, check them out. You can also check out the BingX and BitGet exchanges. You can use the exchanges that I use, guys. Very low in trading fees, never been hacked before. BingX actually has an exclusive promotion on right now. If you sign up using my referral link down below, you can literally click this spin here, this kind of lottery spin, and you'll get one of those bonuses right there. Just free money up for grabs just for using my link. And of course, you can use the BingX link as well, the BitGet link as well if you want to get on BitGet. And then finally, the bull market sale, the Become a Trader 10 unit course, teaching people how to trade in the bull market so you can take advantage of it fully. Go ahead and check that out if you're interested in education and trading. Guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you tomorrow. Very exciting video. We'll see how it goes.